So I think I may have my new favorite watch I've had in on the channel this year, at least when it comes to smaller independent brands. We're talking about a watch that's made in Japan. It's an automatic column wheel chronograph with some really cool 60s slash 70s vintage design cues that give it a really fun look. Cost on the watch is $12.95 USD, but stick around to the end of the video. I do have a discount code that will bring that down a little more. The watch is the Promessa from Soldat Watches, and full disclosure, this watch was gifted into the channel for free. The company has asked nothing of me when it comes to the content of today's video, but I just wanted to be 100% transparent with you guys. So let's get straight to it and take a look at the watch. All right. So the company Soldat is an Indonesian brand, but has their watches manufactured in Japan. Their first release, the Promessa, is available in 3 color options, each limited to 100 pieces. There's a burgundy, which is actually $100 cheaper due to it coming on a NATO style strap. There's a blue on leather, and then there is the green, which they call the Green 49, named after the Lotus 49, which was an F1 car from the 1967 F1 season. They all look awesome, I think, but the green for me was the one, especially with those yellow highlights. The watches come out in this black lacquered wooden box, so nice presentation, and I particularly like these long, slender boxes for storage. Running the watch is the Seiko NE88 column wheel chronograph movement. I've only had the watch a few days now, but it's been gaining only around 6 seconds a day, which isn't bad at all. Winding action is butter. It's very nice. The crown is a push-pull crown and a good size, so no problems gripping it to set the time and date. The movement is a 36 joule movement, beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour and with a power reserve of approximately 45 hours. This is my first experience with this movement. You just don't see it out there all that often, but I'm happy with it in the short amount of time that I've had this. The dial is a beautiful, vibrant sunburst green, and actually, while we're looking at the dial, I'll fire up the chronograph here. Got that nice snappy pop to the pusher, but yeah, love that kind of summery shade of green with the yellow accents. The subdials are light silver. At the 3 is the running seconds with that yellow hand. Over at the 9 is the minutes counter for up to 30 minutes. This movement doesn't have that instantaneous snap of the minute counter hand like some chronographs, so it gradually moves as the seconds pass by, and same goes for the hour subdial, which counts up to 12 hours. I like that they didn't do a sunken subdial like the others here. It keeps the watch clean and uncluttered. One negative with the watch is the date. It's a black on silver date wheel, and it is tough to read unless you're really in a well-lit area. The date wheel is sunken below the dial quite a bit, so it takes that extra second or two sometimes to get the date. So let's stop, and we'll reset the chronograph. And overall, I'd say this, other than the date, is a very legible watch compared to a lot of chronographs out there. In low light, that legibility suffers a bit, though. The lume is pretty weak. Not so bad on the hands, but the markers are very faint. If this was a diver, then that would be more of a disappointment. But for this style of watch, at least for me, it's not a big deal. The case is mostly brushed with some polish work on the bezel as well as the crown and pushers. I'll give you the measurements here in a minute, but you can see this is on the chunky side when it comes to the thickness. Compared to the Valjoux 7750, the NE88 is actually slightly thinner and smaller in diameter, but it's still a thicker movement to fit in there. The case back is a screw down case back with Soldat and the company logo etched, and is also marked made in Japan. The strap, I think, is quite good. It gives the watch a punchy look with the matching green leather and yellow stitch work. The buckle is brushed with some polished details there as well, and it's kind of neat. It's signed actually on the underside with Soldat. I think the only major negative is there's no quick release. The lugs are drilled, which helps, but quick release would have been good. I've been trying it on a few different straps. I think the green is my favorite, but if the green is a bit much for you, a nice, more neutral leather really tones down the watch quite a bit. Size-wise, these come in at a width of 42.6 millimeters. The lug to lug is 49.8 millimeters. Lug opening is 20 millimeters, and the thickness is 14.7 millimeters. So it does stand tall on the wrist, but for me and my wrist size, I don't mind it at all. Water resist on the watch is 50 meters, and the crystal is a flat sapphire with an anti-reflective treatment. And here it is on my 7.25 inch wrist. And I've been loving this thing. It's been a whole lot of fun to wear. I think for the cost, you're getting quite a bit of watch here. If you look at the side profile on a wrist, it literally is quite a bit of watch with that thickness. But overall, I'm really impressed with it. Now, Soldat gave me a discount code for you guys. I earn no commission from it, but it'll get you 15% off your order, which makes the pricing even more attractive. The discount code I will display on the screen below. Not sure how long these will last, as there's only 100 of each color, but I definitely recommend one if you're considering it. Thanks again to Soldat for sending this in. Massively appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.